This leather business bag, the Zeppo from Bleu de Chauffe, has honestly kind of ruined things for me. It is a functional piece of artwork. For the past few weeks, every time I leave my house, I don't even want to make eye contact with a minimal tech modern backpack. On this video, I'm going to talk about what makes this brand from the south of France so special. I'm going to get into the specific things that spark the most joy in this bag for me. Point out a couple nitpicks that I have with it, which transparently feels a little unnatural, critiquing something of this caliber. And then ultimately, I'll share my thoughts on why at $625, despite the fact that it is a lot of money compared to what else is on the market and relative to what you're actually getting, I think for anyone like myself that appreciates the finest details, and once you get a better understanding of what truly goes into making this bag, $625 actually seems like a very reasonable price for what you're getting. So let's get into it. To truly appreciate this bag, I think it's worthwhile learning the story of how it came to be. Despite the fact that it looks like a brand that's been around for 100 years, it was actually founded in 2009 by a French designer. His name's Alexandre. I don't know how you say, I'm gonna call him Alex, which is I think what he goes by. But he spent almost a decade working for the Richemont Group. They are a luxury conglomerate powerhouse. Out of Switzerland, they own Cartier, IWC, JLC, Lange, like some of the oldest and most well-respected luxury watch brands in the world. And he took that obsessive attention to detail when he started this brand. Apparently he had an affinity and collected work bags from the industrial era, like think train workers, plumbers, things like that. Taking these like heritage tool bags and then applying his sophisticated, semi-modern twist to them. Now, what I find the most fascinating about the brand is that the shop itself, which is in the south of France, looks absolutely beautiful. It's in the countryside. Unlike traditional factories where you have specific people that work on specific aspects of the bag, you have the person that cuts the leather, someone that adds the hardware, things like that, to empower the artisans that work there and to keep them from falling prey to the monotony of just having a tedious task that they do day in and day out. Every single bag that Bleu de Chauffe makes is made by a single artisan beginning to end. They do absolutely everything. So you'll notice in the bag, it comes with a little tag with the date that it was made and the signature of the artisan. And then on top of that, apparently they only work 4-day weeks. So they have 3 days off. They're working 35 hours. Keep your workers happy, empower them, pay them reasonable wages, and this is the final product. It's a beautiful thing. So let me get into the things that really stood out to me the most about this bag. They're number one, the quiet luxury aesthetic. Secondly, a few functional details, which I'll get into now. And then lastly, the material selection. Everything is absolutely top notch. Starting off with the quiet luxury aesthetic, quiet luxury is something that I seek in products. And it's more of like that feeling of that it's like a personal luxury, something for you. You're not trying to seek validation from anyone else. But typically these are products that for the very well-trained eye, if you see them, you'd probably connect on a deeper level with that person. Like, tasteful bag. I mean, literally the first time I took this bag out, I talked about this in a spring travel essentials video where I feature this. I went to grab beers with some friends and the guy like waiting to order a beer next to me, like immediately like commented on the bag. And then shortly after I had someone else also complimenting it. The fact that it strikes this amazing balance of heritage and rugged with modern and like refined, like it's very classy, makes it really versatile, whether you're in a very professional setting or a creative setting. As someone that loves heritage products, if you look at Filson, for example, that's a bag, I personally would also rock the Filson bag in an office setting. But I think for anyone that maybe is a little conservative or, you're dealing with like really high-end clientele, you feel like that's too far on the rugged side, but you also don't want to go like hardcore traditional. This is like that perfect sweet spot for that environment, in my opinion. And of course, the look is a very personal thing. but once you get up close to it, seeing the different textures in the leather, given the fact that they use different parts of the leather for different parts of the bag very meticulously, the subtle branding throughout the hardware that they're using. I'll get into that when I talk about the material selection. But second thing that I really like about this bag is when it comes to the functional details. With a lot of these like more traditional leather bags, you're dealing with straps like this, like getting into the bag, having quick access to things is something that you're typically sacrificing when you're going from a fully modern bag to something more like old school like this. Now with this one, the 3 places that you get into the bag are all incredibly easy to access. One, the only zipper on this bag is this one, and it's a straight zipper. The golden brass color is beautiful, the contrast with that, with this like deep blue. But then the other 2 pockets to get into are quick access, right? So this front sleeve that you have here, which is like perfect for sleeves, you're gonna see here that you have this brass clasp mechanism, and all you do is it's like very secure, right? You just push down and then slide up. Really easy to do. You only have to do it once. There's not 2 of them. And once you open this, that's when you're like, bam, you feel like royalty. I mean, if you look up close where it has the logo here as well as here, the raw, you know, like suede side of the leather, these snap buttons, absolutely beautiful. And then you just get like great access here. You can put a tablet or just like anything that's like kind of bulky is perfect for that. And then you get one other quick access pocket, which is great for smaller things. It is fairly small, so you don't have like space for a lot of stuff. But right here, if you want to throw your phone in there, it fits perfectly, or AirPods, things of that size. And it's just a magnetic snap closure. So really easy to get in and out of. Now, as far as the materials themselves, they're using a full grain vegetable tan leather. It's been sustainably treated with agents like acacia and chestnut. And it just has a fantastic thickness to it and feels indestructible, but also very plush, especially in specific areas. I talked about this already, but like I've seen videos of how they choose the different parts of the leather for specific areas. So here in this front flap, you can see the contrast is different from here beyond visually. They're using a softer single piece of leather here. The actual hardware that they're using throughout, as well as like the shoulder straps where you have this like felt liner on the inside, is all like incredibly classy. And then you have some beautiful touches where the hardware is again at the bottom, the engraved logo, the way it's stitched on the luggage pass through here in the back, using the leather that matches the shoulder strap. It's like has a burgundy hue to it on this one. And then just like the little details on the inside, the felt liner for the laptop sleeve, the canvas little pocket that they have, everything is insane. And then also like here, it feels like ceramic, but just their like minimal logo is on there. Really, really nice. Now, I would say there's 2 things in this bag that are what I would consider my nitpicks, the things that, given the choice, I would maybe want it done a little bit differently. But again, it just feels strange criticizing something like this, where I feel like I have a lot of respect for the artistry that went into this. But I'm going to say it nevertheless, because this is Nitpacker after all. Number 1 is the laptop sleeve. So there's 2 things about it, but that I think would both be solved pretty simply, and it's something that I can probably not do myself because I wouldn't trust myself to do it, but hire like a local leather worker to do that. The leather sleeve on the inside, it is made with like a felt. It has a nice thickness to it. It just works. It makes so much sense, just keeping everything really old school. And there's snap buttons, right? So you can actually remove it if you're not using it. My main issue with it is that there's nothing keeping it, like it opens up pretty wide when you need it to, but there's nothing that keeps it shut. So very often when I open the bag, that felt liner, the laptop sleeve, is open. And so when I'm trying to put something in there that's not that, see, as you can see like right there, it's like this big mouth. it just covers the whole bag, and it's not a big deal. I just have to move it out of the way. Having something like a little strap with a snap button that just keeps it closed when you're not using it would be great. And the other reason for why having something like that would be valuable, keeping it shut, is that when you throw your laptop in here, if you don't have like anything else or like not a lot of bulky things in here, when you zip it up, the laptop just naturally wants to go forward, right? So one, when you open it, you have to move it back, but secondly, it just makes it forward heavy. So right now I have other stuff in here, but you'll see, like, I'll take a video of it, but it just, when you have the laptop in there, not a lot of other stuff, it just wants to topple forward because the laptop sleeve is not like staying in one place. It's going where the laptop wants to go. So that's the main thing. And then the second one is a lot more minor. And it's just the fact that with the luggage pass-through, which I absolutely love that they've included it, the way it stays flush is through Velcro. Now, this is literally like, has to be the strongest Velcro that I've ever experienced, which is amazing. But a bag like this, I just think everything about it is done in a way where it's gonna last forever. And Velcro is just one of those materials where just like over time, it gets weaker and weaker. This is the Solo version of the Zeppo, which is a single zipper. They have a dual version with 2 zippers. One thing to keep in mind though is with that one, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably a little bigger, but you have 2 compartments that are narrower, tighter. The nice thing about the single zipper is just having like a wider open space. But I can imagine just maybe having a separate sleeve where you're putting your laptop in would be advantageous. But with that one, the luggage pass-through is actually like you would just put it through the piece of leather they've created. In opening there, again, I'm sure there's a lot of thought that was put into the decision behind why they went with Velcro for the Solo. But I think even just something as simple as like a snap button or something along those lines rather than Velcro would just fully complete the all-out heritage. Nothing on this bag could possibly go wrong. I'm gonna walk you through it, but also worth noting, while the vast majority of what they're known for comes from their like artisan crafted leather bags and canvas bags, they've also expanded into the world of clothing, and this like marine grade knitted cotton sweater is from them. I talk about it in my spring travel, like quiet luxury essentials video. I'll link that below in case you're interested. But this thing is just the most luxurious sweater I've ever owned in my life. But yeah, so as far as the bag itself, you have this clasp here in the front. This is your front stash pocket. There are no like internal sleeves within here. It's just one big open space. Great for slimmer things, as well as like this is kind of my go-to for also semi-bulky things as well. Just to get in there, you just push and pull, and then to do it, it just clicks on its own. Here you have a little magnetic snap button with a sleeve that fits like a phone perfectly or anything in that size. You'll see on the back panel where this front thing is, just like the attention to detail with the stitching is unreal. This side, this is like the little minimal logo that they have. I want to say they're using brass hardware throughout, and then the inside feels like ceramic. Shoulder straps are adjustable, and it's got a felt liner for the padding, and now it is surprisingly comfortable, I will say, for a fully leather bag that's not lightweight. I wouldn't be like commuting, like walking 2-3 miles each way with it every day, but I would say a mile or less I could do depending on what I'm carrying, but with like a fairly minimal loadout. In the back, you've got the luggage pass-through that I already talked about. It's attached via Velcro, but it's like Spider-Man Velcro, super duper strong. And then on the inside, on one side, you have this pouch. So as far as like internal organization, that's all you get, but you can remove it. It's just like a zipper. And then this is where you can see like the date of fabrication as well as the artisan's name, Chris, if you're watching this, thank you very much. You made me very, very happy with this bag. And then as you can see, like the back side of the leather, the contrast of the more like stone, slate, grayish blue in contrast with just like the antique brass snap buttons. Looks really, really nice. And then on the other side, like I talked about, the laptop sleeve, also felt, and it can be removed if you like don't need a laptop, which is really nice that they did that. And they don't list the volume of it. I would say if I was a guessing person, maybe like 16 liters is what I would say. But I mean, if you're traveling with a suitcase and you've got this, you can put laptop, tablet, and then here like a surprising amount of space in the main compartment. Like I would say a sweater like this, which is like really heavy duty, fits in there, and you have space for other things like a book or whatever you might want to throw in there. But yeah, well, let's get into the final chapter, if you will. All right, my final thoughts are, if I worked in an executive setting, especially if I'm rocking a blazer or a suit every day, having a bag like this, especially if I'm not commuting really long distances, as in like walking places with it, this is the bag that I would be rocking as someone that really identifies with heritage products and the quiet luxury aesthetic that they offer. I find that this bag balances rugged and luxury incredibly well, which is really what I'm looking for more and more in life out of the products that I'm buying as long-term investments. Now, as far as the price point, it's $625. If you're into the rugged heritage look, if you look at Filson, right, their fully leather, like briefcase messenger business bag is over $1,000. It is made in the US. I haven't seen it in person. I'm sure it's beautiful, but costs significantly more, literally twice as much as this. On a more comparable price scale, you have Satchel and Page. They're getting their leather from a really reputable place in Italy. I wasn't able to definitively figure out where they manufacture their stuff, but I think it's throughout Europe. The look of the Satchel and Page, like the Counselor, it looks really nice, but it still looks like very much like a traditional leather bag. And then for a lot of executives where all you've seen your whole life is Toomey, they have a lot of options, but probably the one that I found that was most similar aesthetically to this one is their Sycamore Slim, and that's an $800 bag. It's mass produced in China, not to knock on the quality or anything like that, but it's also like, what is your personality? Do you want to just blend in with the masses, rock a Toomey bag like everyone else, or do something with more personality, something more unique, more special? This at $625, the fact that you get that attention to detail that was taken from someone that worked for the Richemont Group, incredibly high-end luxury where precision and attention to detail, especially in the watch world, is kind of at its pinnacle. Taking that, but creating a really special work environment where you have artisans that are empowered to create these things by hand, beginning to end. They own the whole entire process. You can just like feel the pride of the work in this, the fact that one person did everything, and the fact that these are people that are like, the factory looks beautiful, by the way, in the south of France. They're working 4 days a week. Happier people produce more beautiful results in life. So again, a lot of it will come down to like how much you like the look. But if you are detail obsessed like me, you value products that have the ability to spark joy beyond the functionality, but you also view the bag as a tool in having little details, right? Like being able to have this front pocket that is actually a quick access pocket, where a lot of these like traditional leather, well-constructed bags, you're dealing with having to undo at least one of these types of straps or two. Like I would just leave it open and then that would give me anxiety. But this is not only just easier, like a frictionless experience, but it's really satisfying to do. And then you have that other magnetic pocket here in the front. So all in all, this bag from Bleu de Chauffe has completely like shifted my perspective, a perspective that was already shifting. And it's one of the, I guess, paradoxical crossroads that I'm at with the channel. When I first created the channel, my thoughts were like, hey, I am always looking for the perfect X, Y, or Z, right? And so I figured just taking people on my meticulous journey, and along the way sharing finds that perhaps aren't perfect for me, but are close to perfect for somebody else. And really what I've realized is that the closer I've gotten to perfect, where I've been so hyper focused on the functionality side and checking off these boxes that I thought would result in me finding this elusive perfect bag. And the closer I got to perfect, the further away I got from just like really enjoying bags. And I found that like really my favorite bags are those that aren't perfect. And I've been able to embrace the imperfections because they do certain things so well and spark a level of joy unlike others, that has become a really important value driver for me, that I'm going to continue seeking more in that vein. And I will continue reviewing bags like Air and Simple that are like much more on the technical, modern, minimal vein of things, because I have a part of my brain that also geeks out on that. But I definitely will be more and more exploring products that are heritage, or at least heritage in look and feel, that are using natural materials like wax canvas and leather, and that will still serve their purpose, be functional tools, but where I can get close to it and just like smell that leather and just go back to the very core and essence of everything, which is just like, hey, this is a tool. It's going to help you take your stuff from A to B. Don't let it keep you from not enjoying your life. If anything, find things that are going to help you enjoy your life more. And products like these in this digital world that we're living in are just such a like simple but powerful reminder that it's really easy to just get caught up in this world of I need all of these things in a product to be happy, where products like this that are more of like a pure artistic expression, that focus more on the materials, the raw ingredients, the finishing, the little details, and everything else is secondary. There's something pretty beautiful about that as well. But anyways, if you made it this far, sorry for the tangent. And yeah, what a beautiful, well-made product. I look forward to seeing this brand continue to do fantastic things, and hopefully I can be a part of that journey along the way. Cheers.